Hi, I'm Casey. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm going to do a question and answer tag, probably the one that I started to do on Monday with Mask Monday, but decided I was getting way too long, so we needed to cut it off. But first, I'm going to show you something that came in my mail today. Actually, it was a day or two ago. It's a black t-shirt in a size medium that says, "I love my boyfriend." So what happened was when we were home, our other home, our old home, for Christmas, the day after Christmas, Bath and Body Works had, their semi-annual sale starting, and I really wanted to go to that. But we only had the one vehicle, and my husband also had to do some things out, so I had him take me to the mall and go to the Bath and Body. He's not somebody that does well, you want to come up? Like just waiting or relaxing. So, and there was a little bit of a line to get into the Bath and Body Works, so it was going to take, a little longer for me than usual. Anyway, he found one of those claw games that he decided he was going to play. Yeah. And he played it and won something, but it was apparently like a clear ball, and then it had a note inside, and then in the note you had to go to a website and then scan the little code, and then they would mail you what came in it. And this is what my husband won: a t-shirt that is rhinestoned and sequined out that says, "I love my boyfriend." And that came in the mail. All right, on to the question and answer. Okay, so I've actually combined a couple, I think, of tags that I'd seen other people do that I find interesting. I always like actually watching people's question and answer tags. Okay, so we're starting with favorite fast food restaurant. And as always, I just can't pick one thing. I like Chick-fil-A, but since we've moved to Kansas, they have Spangles here, which I'd never heard of before. And they have a Parmesan garlic bacon cheeseburger that is very good. And it's kind of served on like a Texas toast garlic bread, but then I really like the Parmesan cheese on it too. Honestly, the bacon could be a lot better. I don't usually like fast food bacon. I'm not sure what it is. I don't feel like it's actual bacon, or that I actually like really crispy bacon, and that's usually like this floppy little thing. Anyway, and they also serve margaritas, like 32-ounce size margaritas for 99 cents. Maybe it's $1.99. I don't know. It's under $2, let's say, and you can get an extra shot in it for just 99 cents more. Question number 2 was sushi, favorite sushi, but I don't like any sushi, so we're skipping that. My favorite Asian dish is pad wunsen for sure, but I like it with chicken but without vegetables. And my favorite place to get it, I liked to get it just in the mild plus because I don't really like hot and spicy, but when it was completely plain, I liked the flavor of the spice, but just not very much of it. My favorite Italian dish, chicken parmesan is what I'm going to go with, but I really like it in my old hometown. There was a restaurant called Tiramisu, and their chicken parmesan was just so much better than any I've had at like Olive Garden or any other Italian restaurant I've ever tried. But I also really like just a Maggiano's, and I think it's a chain. I don't know if it's every single place in the world, but I've, been to Chicago and it's been there, and I've been to, I don't know, St. Louis, and it's been there, like other places I know it's been. And they have, honestly, I almost would say that Maggiano's could be my favorite restaurant to go to ever. I just like the flavor of the foods, and they have a neat steak thing, because I don't know what cut it is, that just is so delicious. And then I like their angel hair pasta as the side to go along with it, and I like they have a buffalo mozzarella like this a big deep fat fried cube thing, and their drinks are really good, you know, like maybe a Italian Cosmo, or even their lemon drop is really excellent. How do you like your steak cooked? I'm gonna say medium. I honestly probably prefer it medium well, but I can't order it at a restaurant medium well, because somehow it always is more on the well side every time I try to do it. So I always order it medium. And then even if it is slightly less than I want, I usually don't eat the whole thing anyway, so I have to bring it home, and then by the time you heat it up in the microwave, it cooks it all the way through. So I'll eat like the outside edges and then bring the middle home. Favorite cookie is a chocolate chip cookie, of course. Except at Christmas time, I really do like those peanut butter blossoms when they have the peanut butter cookie with the big Hershey Kiss thing in the middle. Yum. Favorite French fries. McDonald's French fries are the best French fries. And they are the only French fries that I actually like that are like skinny or little. Usually I only like a French fry if it's like a steak cut, like a big thick one, or sometimes like the crinkle cut. I really like my French fries to have a little meatiness to them, like a little potato-ishness to them, not just completely crunchy. Favorite cereal. I really don't eat cereal, but if I had to pick one, I do like the taste of multigrain Cheerios. Favorite desserts. I like just almost every single dessert out there. I really do enjoy fresh strawberry pie. And my mom would make me for my birthday a turtle cake, but leave out the nuts, which was just basically then chocolate cake. And then it had this layer of caramels that were melted in the middle, and a layer of chocolate chips that were melted in the middle, and then the top was another layer of cake. Butterscotch brownies, though, blonde brownies are also really good. Okay, favorite alcoholic drink. I like vodka gimlets. I like a chocolate martini or a lemon drop martini. I like a Long Island iced tea. I like drinks that taste delicious. However, I rarely go to places that can make good drinks, so then I end up just ordering like a Captain and Coke, or a vodka and 7-Up, or a vodka and ginger ale if they've got ginger ale. But I don't drink beer at all anymore. I did until I got pregnant at, you know, like 25 or whatever, and I just never went back to drinking beer. I think I really only did it because it was simple and easy and you knew what you were going to get. Sometimes when you go out and you know you're going to be out for several hours, if you're ordering Captain and Cokes, you don't know if they're giving you 1 ounce or 3 ounces. So that can make a difference when you're drinking them. Where a beer, if you order a bottle of beer, you pretty much know. Okay, favorite Starbucks drink. I don't drink coffee and I don't go to Starbucks. If we're out of town and my husband's going to go anyway, I will get a hot chocolate sometimes. But I also feel like, oh my gosh, why would I pay $5 for a hot chocolate? It's like 18 cents. Okay, TV sitcom. I really don't.
Okay, editing Casey here. I was about to say I really don't watch any TV, but then as I was talking about shows I liked, I ended up realizing, but I used to watch it a lot. So these are shows I actually like a lot and forgot to mention.
So I think these are probably all old ones. I absolutely love it, and I still hope that they'll come out with another season of them, because it was one it would take years off. But on the BBC, that Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm gonna mess up his name completely, but that guy. I love that show. Loved that show. I also really like Schitt's Creek, and then on Netflix there were several of them that I really enjoyed. I really liked Penny Dreadful, The OA, Ripper Street, and I have written down American Horror Story, which I think is on Netflix now. That show, for maybe for like 4 of the seasons, I would get together with a couple of my girlfriends and we would go to one of them's houses and we would watch that. So it was like every Wednesday night at it was always after 9 o'clock at night, because I think she had the little thing where, you know, if it came on at 9, you could still like pause it and then watch it later and skip commercials. And it was just so much fun. Like, my kids would know that that's mom's night. She's going down to the neighbor house, and they would stay at home, and we would watch American Horror Story together, and we would mostly just visit and have a good time. And but we did always watch the show, and it's a show I can't watch alone. I don't like watching scary movies or scary shows alone, but I like watching them. So it was perfect. Favorite cartoon? I'm going to say Family Guy. But here's my thing with Family Guy. I think it's the most hilarious thing to watch the first time I see the show, but it's not something I can watch in a rerun. Like, I can't just sit down and watch an episode I've already seen, because then it drives me crazy. But the first time I see it, it's hilarious. And sometimes I still take out my gum and hand it to my husband and tell him I'm done with it, because Peter, the husband character, did that to Lois in one of the shows, and it seemed like something I would do, even though like I don't think I'd ever done it really before that. But like, I ask my husband to do things for me that are just, nobody should ask somebody else to do, like take your used gum because you're done with it. But yeah, okay, that's the kind of person I am. I thought it was hilarious. My favorite Beatles song is In My Life. But now I'm going to skip down like 5 questions, because my favorite cover song is Bette Midler doing In My Life. And I think it was on the For the Boys soundtrack. But I may or may not have mentioned before in you know, how much I enjoy my Spotify account, and I just love that I can have all these different playlists. So when I'm in an upbeat mood, I have my upbeat playlist, and when I'm gonna have my long drive home, I've got my long drive playlist that is songs I just know every single word to, so I can sing along, and they take me back to the 70s and 80s and 90s, and it keeps me awake. I've got my old country playlist and I've got a playlist that's my funeral songs. And I add them, and my husband knows about it, so that if I were to pass on before him, which I do not plan to do, I plan to live well past 100. I plan to know my great-grandchildren, and I don't even have I don't have grandchildren at all yet. But I have a playlist of songs that I want played at the party, at my funeral, and In My Life is definitely one of them. Okay, stringed instrument, a guitar. My favorite band or artist, because I've answered this so many times, I'm not going to tell you that one that I always say, and I'm going to tell you Lucas Graham. I like his music. Music genre. I'm going to mention this because one time my Spotify account told me that this is what I was listening to, and I didn't even know this was a genre. But apparently I like folk Americana. And yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently like the bands like Shovels and Rope, or Dawes or Mandolin Orange, anyway, a lot of bands that I listen to are apparently folk Americana, and I didn't even know that. But I don't mind listening to music if it has a mandolin or a violin, fiddle, stand-up bass. I've gone to concerts, Reverend Peyton and the Big Damn Band, and there's a girl that plays the washboard. I've actually taken washboard lessons. That's a little known fact about me. I have a washboard. I play it. I'm not good enough to join a band. Style of dance. I'm not sure if this meant for me or to watch, but I'm just gonna say freestyle. Song you're embarrassed you like. I'm honestly, I'm changing it to song I should be embarrassed I like, because I'm really never embarrassed about a whole lot of things. There's a whole lot of things I should be embarrassed about that I'm not. So I'm going to say Little Dicky, Let Me Freak. I will definitely play that on a jukebox. And the thing about Little Dicky is his videos are so good. I find him so entertaining. He's like a comedian, only in song form. And I like that. Speaking of which, this is not one of the things, but I have just recently found a new comedian that I like, and I hope I can remember his name. It's definitely Michael, and it's like Michael McIntyre. I'll have to put it on the screen here. But my husband showed me something of his one time that was more like, I don't even know who this guy is. He's British, but it looked like he had kind of like a come on down kind of variety show, and he had this woman in the audience where he had actually went to her house and taken food, like her husband had set it up, out of her freezer that she had frozen ahead of time. And then they had went to this like 5-star Michelin restaurant and had this tasting, but they had actually served her own food. And then so she was like tasting it and kind of critical of it. Anyway, that was really funny. But then after you watch something, you know, on YouTube, you get other things that they show you to see if you are interested in. And so he apparently also has stand-up comedy. And holy moly, that guy is funny. And he's apparently been around a long time, because some of them that I watched, he looked a good 20 years younger than he looked in other videos. And I wish that I could like tell you some of his jokes, but I'm sure it would get lost in translation. But he is definitely somebody who just takes absolutely normal, everyday things, and then when he says it, you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I've been there a million times, and that is so funny now that you point it out. Your first makeup item. I am going to say that I remember when I was very young, my mother went to an auction, and she bought at an auction a Mary Kay makeup set that looked like it had been like a salesperson's sample kit case. So who knows how many people had used this sample kit case before it was sold at an auction. And when I say an auction, I mean like, you know, the kind that like somebody dies and then they, you know, their kids sell off everything in their house and everything's lined up on old wagons, you know, and people are picking through it. Anyway, we didn't know any better. This would have been, you know, early 80s. I'm sure it was fine. Clearly it was fine. I'm alive. Anyway, we used that sample kit of makeup like my entire life, you know, until I left home. And I absolutely guarantee that I could find something out of it if I went to my mom's house and looked right now, because as I showed you one time, my mom's eyeshadow palette, you know, that she had completely panned like 12 of them in one little like 4-corner thing. Like she does not throw anything away until it's completely used up. And I'm sure that there were colors that were way too light or way too dark that she's now like, you know, as she's 82, still mixing them probably. So that was my favorite, or my first makeup item that I remember. My favorite mascara. My favorite mascara is MAC's Hot and Naughty. I love it. The last time I bought it, though, would have been a year ago in January. I got rid of it maybe 2 months ago, so I definitely used it well past the 6-month mark, probably into 10 months. These fuzzy sweaters that I got from Walmart are so warm. Like I warm up. Okay. But I feel like now that I started getting all of these subscription boxes, I've got at least 5 mascaras that are not even open yet. So there's no way that I should replace the one that I like until I use up all these other ones, because maybe there's one of those that I like just as much. Coverage of foundation. I do not want to be able to feel my foundation after I put it on. So, but I want it to have some coverage. So I guess I'm kind of picky about that. My favorite high-end brand. I don't know how high-end they mean, because I don't have anything that I've never tried anything that's crazy high end. I'm gonna say Jane Iredale is my, I don't even know if that's considered high end, but it's the one that I used before all these subscription boxes. And Maribel, like, again, I don't know that that's even considered. Do you wear fake lashes? Every now and then, like I would wear them to my music festivals, or I'll wear them New Year's Eve, or if we had some fundraiser that we were going to where you got dressed up, but I don't wear them on a daily basis. Any makeup you can't live the house without? No, I can go completely barefaced, which is totally something new. When I got old, I apparently don't care anymore, because, yeah, I would say until 4 years ago, I would never leave the house without almost a full face of makeup on. Most cherished beauty product, my Victoria DN skincare line. That whole, like, I never want to be without it. How often do you shop for makeup? I never shop for makeup. Now that I am getting subscription boxes, I'm totally just using whatever comes. Favorite place to shop for makeup? Before, I always, because I'm a hairstylist, and I get discounts at, the beauty supply stores, I would get makeup there. Top 5 beauty gurus. If I think of some, I'll list them. I don't know any. Actually, you know what? That Raw Beauty Christy, anytime I've ever watched her stuff on YouTube, I think she just comes off as such a good person. So I would say her. And, oh, I like those Welsh brothers also. James and Robert Welsh. And one of them, I think they're like 32 years old, so they're young, but they're really cute. And one does skincare and one does makeup. I like them too. All right, and then I'll list the other ones because, yeah, I forgot about both of those two people when I first read that. Do you use eyeshadow primer? When I remember, I definitely do. Do you do foundation or concealer first? I ask this question to people a lot because, I mean, when I went to beauty school and makeup classes, we were taught to do concealer first and then foundation. But watching these YouTube videos, I see people reversing that all of the time. And I mean, I wasn't even taught that that was an option. Like, they didn't say, oh, for oily skin, you do this, and for dry skin, you do this, or anything. It was just always, what do you love about makeup? I am really glad I'm a girl and get to wear makeup because I think it's fun. That's what I love about it. I think it is fun to be able to change the way you look. And I definitely think that makeup makes you look different, or makes me look different. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's fun. We used to do a lot of costume parties and things, and it's fun to, you can do makeup and then all of a sudden you can look, like a punk rocker or a goth kind of person or a clean, fresh, all-American, I definitely think that's the best part of being a girl. And if I was a boy, I would definitely still be a boy that wore makeup because I think makeup is fun. Wooden brand, if you don't have one brand, which one? I guess, again, I'm going to go back to my Jane Iredale just because I used to use only it and it worked fine for me. I didn't have issues. And for skincare, Victoria DN. Do you try new skincare or keep your routine? I do them both. I won't be without my routine of Victoria DN, but with all of this wonderful stuff that I'm getting in skincare boxes and beauty boxes, I want to try them and I want to see what else is out there. Drugstore or high end, whatever happens to come in my beauty boxes, I guess. That is a very long video, so I guess I hope it was somewhat enjoyable for you. I should have said this part in the beginning, but I guess just know it for all of my videos. Speed me up, man. There's like 3 little buttons over there in the corner, and because I'm very entertaining. You don't want to miss out on it, but you might not have, you know, as much time as it takes to get through my video. So if you speed me up, you can see the whole video without missing out, or pause me and, you know, come back to me when you do have time. Just watch me, you know, when you're taking a bath or sitting on the toilet. I don't know, wherever you can carve out your time. I thought it was a fun get to know me session. And what it will do is, like, it took me, you know, 35 minutes to film it, and then it'll take me like an hour to edit it so it's shorter for you. And then that makes me feel like I've accomplished something today, instead of just sitting all alone in a house 7 hours away from all of my friends and family, and not, you know, being out and about during a crazy world that we're living in right now. So thanks for being there for me, people. Bye.